Ghostface isn't just one killer, he's a legacy, a performance, a scream echoed through decades of trauma, fandom, and a whole lot of kitchen knives. Across 6 films, the Scream franchise has unmasked 12 different Ghostface killers and one pathetic Ghostface wannabe named Jason Carvey. Either way, they all wore the same mask, but brought their own twisted psychology, personal vendettas, and pop culture baggage to the blade. Some are cold-blooded masterminds, and others just deranged sidekicks going for the fun of it. But every Ghostface tells us something about fear, fame, and how fragile people can become monsters when pushed too far, or in some cases, not pushed at all. In this video, we'll dive into the minds behind the mask, a full psychological breakdown of every Ghostface killer from Scream 1996 to Scream 6 2023. What drives them? Why do they kill? And what does each say about the time they came from? The very first Scream, 1996, introduces us to Ghostface in the hands of 2 unassuming teenagers, charming Billy Loomis and his friend, good old Stu Macher. On the surface, Billy is a charismatic boyfriend, confident, charming, and eager to be the center of attention, yet he's still unable to tango with Sydney, if you know what I mean, for most of the movie that is. But he's calm and logical, making decisions with cold precision. In truth, Billy is a cold, calculating sociopath. His motive runs deep. He blames Sidney Prescott for the broken homes of both their families, discovering his mother left his father because of Sidney's mom, and that sends Billy into a rage, fueling his murderous revenge plot. He manipulates everyone around him, even Sidney, with disarming charm, all while hiding a dark and twisted motive. Now, this next part comes from the heart, let me tell you. Stu Macher. Stu Macher plays the role of a perfect foil to Billy. He's goofy, laid back, and completely unhinged. He's Billy's jester and cohort, instantly making horror fans laugh when he asks, "Do you want to die?" with a grin. Yet beneath that goofy exterior is an insane character who thrives on chaos. Stu shows a chilling lack of empathy and morality. He happily participates in the killings, reveling in the chaos and carnage. His antics line up perfectly with his profile. Stu's personality is wild and unpredictable. He's extroverted and lives for instant thrills. A self-described punk who loves pulling pranks. He ends up fully embracing murder for the adrenaline. In the climatic reveal, Stu's earlier goofy demeanor crumbles. His deceptiveness drops away to show a sinister, violent side. In short, Stu is a charming, and I can agree with that, prankster turned sociopath. Together, Billy and Stu form a deadly tag team. Billy masterminds every step with rational vengeance-driven logic, while Stu provides manic energy and ruthless zest for gore. Their twisted partnership turns the final girl thriller on its head. In combining Billy's calculated spite and Stu's reckless mania, Scream 1996 sets the tone for a slasher-obsessed, yet self-aware franchise that loves to dissect killer psychology. After the chaos of Woodsboro, the sequel brings us more amazing Ghostface killers. In Scream 2, we meet Mickey Altieri and Debbie Salt, or Nancy Loomis as Ghostface, and in Scream 3, we learn of Roman frickin' Bridger, the mastermind behind the Hollywood slasher spree, and really the whole franchise altogether. Mickey Altieri at first seems like a goofy film buff friend at Sydney's college, a horror-obsessed schemer with a camcorder. Like Timu version of Randy, but beneath his awkward nerdy exterior lies a twisted copycat. Mickey is an awkward and socially inept college student whose love for horror films becomes a dangerous obsession. He's very manipulative, teaming up with Mrs. Loomis to manufacture a copycat killing spree inspired by horror film cliches, also inspired by the events of the original movie. In short, Mickey delights in blurring fiction and reality, seeking the thrill of actual murder. He's charming in a creepy way, but ruthless, willing to kill for his sick fan ambitions. And he also had some terrible plans when it was all said and done. He was losing that case in court, let me tell you. Nancy Loomis appears in Scream 2 under the alias Debbie Salt. A picture of vengeance, she endures enormous grief and guilt after discovering her own son Billy was a serial killer. Consumed by revenge, Nancy blames Sydney in Vengeful publications about the Woodsboro massacre, also known as Gale Frickin' Weathers. She goes to shocking length, losing 60 pounds, undergoing surgery, and assuming a new identity. Nancy coldly recruits Mickey as a partner in crime, even potentially paying his college tuition to groom him. Together they enact a bloody sequel to the original killings, with Nancy pretending to be the grieving mother turned killer. Her twisted goal is old-fashioned revenge, framing Sydney and her circle for the violence. This vengeful mother archetype is depicted as a manipulative and driven by righteous anger, believing everyone who had anything to do with the death of her son Billy must die. Next, Scream 3 pulls back the curtain further with Roman Bridger. He's Sydney's half-brother, a bitter, talented director left out of the family. Roman is a master manipulator. He secretly filmed Sydney's mother in compromising situations, then used that footage to fuel her death by Billy. But Roman's grander plan comes to light at the end. He orchestrated the third Ghostface spree in Hollywood as a payback. Humiliated by Sydney's fame, he directed a horror film that ended in real blood. Roman's motives are envy and craving for recognition. He plans to orchestrate a killing spree and to frame Sydney as the killer, while he would be the sole survivor. In short, Roman is a narcissistic schemer, a mastermind who uses his production skills and deep resentment to sabotage Sydney's life. Mickey's genre-fanatic boredom, Nancy's sorrow-fueled wrath, and Roman's jealous grand design all fit into the Scream meta-narrative. Each killer sees horror movies as personal. Mickey as a thrill seeker, Nancy as a revenge mission, and Roman as a twisted art. And each adds a new twist to the legacy of Ghostface. In Scream 4, the Ghostface masks are donned by Jill Roberts and Charlie Walker, two teens eager to upend Sydney's legacy. Jill Roberts is Sydney's cousin, seemingly sweet, beautiful, and shy, but inside she's consumed by envy and self-obsession. Growing up always second to Sydney's fame, Jill quietly envied her cousin's success, especially after her own neglectful mother and a cheating boyfriend. By senior year, she's become disturbed and craving attention. And beneath Jill's innocent look lies a disturbed individual eager for fame as the final girl. She obsesses over the Ghostface murders that made Sydney famous and secretly plots at new killing sprees to make her famous in the same way. Jill meticulously plans a Woodsboro anniversary massacre, framing her ex and even setting up her accomplice Charlie, hoping to emerge as the sole survivor. In her mind, if Sydney is a Hollywood final girl, Jill would be Woodsboro's protagonist. This twisted quest for fame and attention makes her cold and ruthless. She's willing to betray friends and family and definitely murder to grab the spotlight. And also, in my opinion, she had one of the best plans to actually frame Sydney and to actually get away with murder, although it failed in the end. Charlie Walker is Jill's partner in crime and secret boyfriend, a horror film club geek utterly devoted to Jill. Charlie isn't a vengeful mastermind. He's really just a cuck if you ask me, but he's best described as a virgin stalkerish fanboy. He worships Jill and lives for Stab, the fictional movie series, believing real murders will make him part of horror history. Unlike Jill, Charlie lacks a clear personal vendetta. He's motivated by an obsessed infatuation with Jill and the Stab lore. When Jill ropes him into her plan, Charlie throws himself in as a second Ghostface. He's awkward, tech-savvy, and obsessed with horror cliches. The perfect, gullible accomplice. In his mind, he's just living the dream of a gore-fueled film, even if it's a deranged one. Together, Jill and Charlie form a hyper-meta duo. Scream then takes on a new era. In the 2022 and 2023 films, in Scream 2022 or Scream 5 and Scream 6 2023, the killers arise from obsession fandom and twisted family ties. The Ghostface mask falls on Richie Kirsch and Amber Freeman, and later on Detective Wayne and his kids, Quinn and Ethan, each bringing a warped agenda to the killings. Richie Kirsch is one of the most self-aware and scorned Ghostface villains. A horror fanboy at heart, Richie feels movies like Stab are mocked by normal people. He angrily declares the true fans are treated like jokes. The frustration of being dismissed fuels his rage. Richie is cunning and vindictive after scheming online with his girlfriend Amber. He lures Sam Carpenter, his girlfriend, and also Billy's daughter back to Woodsboro for a so-called requel. So yeah, he's got 2 girlfriends, y'all, so yeah, that's just how Richie does it. His plan is to turn the legacy murders into a new stab film and frame Sam as the villain since she is the son of Billy. Richie craves recognition by scapegoating someone else. He hopes to become the legendary killer of his own twisted movie. He even betrays Amber to protect his narrative. In short, Richie is an entitled, genre-savvy nerd who weaponizes fandom into murder. And Amber Freeman is Richie's partner, a loyal fan herself. Amber is pragmatic, cruel, and deeply nostalgic for the original Stab movies. Unlike Richie's ranting, Amber is all business, obsessed with the OG film and the dismissive of the sequels. She calls Dewey's death an honor, a twisted badge of fan dedication. Her stoicism and lack for remorse marks her as a true believer. Amber isn't killing for fame, she's killing for the purity of the narrative. Together, she and Richie are delusional amateurs, rewriting the Ghostface legend with blood. And if you ask me, Amber is one of the most respectable Ghostface killers, as she genuinely killed just for the love of the game. You gotta respect it. Then comes the rest of the Ghostface family in Scream 6. Detective Wayne Bailey, a kindly NYPD officer at first glance, is revealed to be Richie's father. Blinded by grief and rage over Richie's death, Wayne recruits his kids to take revenge on Sam and Tara Carpenter. He's Ghostface's most deranged parent yet, using his badge to manipulate crime scenes, stalk survivors, and resurrect Richie's creepy shrine. Wayne believes he's avenging his son's legacy, but this dude was fishy the whole time. He really wasn't fooling no one. Quinn Bailey, Wayne's daughter, plays the role of the innocent roommate until faking her death and emerging as a vengeful killer. Motivated by family loyalty, Quinn calls the revenge spree justice for Richie. She's cool, calculated, and terrifyingly efficient, nearly killing Gail and taunting Sam with unhinged righteousness. Ethan Landry, revealed to be Wayne's son and Quinn's brother, is the most reserved of the trio. He is actually kind of funny until we find out he's the killer, and he was also kind of fishy. I don't know why I didn't suspect him in my first watch, but it is what it is. He poses as a shy, awkward college kid who blends into the friend group, but underneath, he's a violent, obsessive killer, equally committed to avenging Richie. Ethan is eager to prove himself, and when unmasked, he drops the quiet act for a manic, almost gleeful bloodlust. He's the stew of the trio. Volatile, enthusiastic, and fully indoctrinated by his family's rage. But guys, do I even gotta say it? Let's face it, Ethan, you are no stew. Together, this killer family forms Ghostface's most organized, fanatical faction yet. Fueled by grief, entitlement, and genre obsession, they represent Scream's darkest theme yet. How far some people will go to protect their myth and avenge their own legend. Now those are just the successful Ghostface killers, the ones who actually killed meaningful characters in Scream. But there's just one other Ghostface we haven't talked about yet. A little extra surprise for y'all here. Jason Carvey for all of 12 minutes on screen in Scream 6. He was a film student and wannabe slasher mastermind. Jason was part of a new twist on the Ghostface formula, a killer who was unmasked at the beginning of the film. He murders Professor Laura Crane in a textbook stab-style setup. But Jason's real motive was to finish Richie's movie. He idolized Richie Kirsch and wanted to pick up where he left off, crafting a new stab narrative by killing Sam and Tara. But Jason makes one critical mistake. He isn't the real Ghostface. Before he can enact his plan, Jason is hunted down and brutally killed by the actual Ghostface, later revealed to be Wayne Bailey and his kids, who probably scoffed at Jason's pathetic attempt to carry the torch. Jason is a perfect example of how Scream 6 plays with expectations. He thought he was the next big thing, but he was just a warm-up kill for a more personal, revenge-driven Ghostface. His death reminds us, in the world of Scream, even Ghostface isn't safe. What do y'all think? Did I miss any motives or thoughts of any of the 13 Ghostface killers? Drop your thoughts down in the comments below. Please drop a like and hit that subscribe button, or all 13 Ghostfaces, even pathetic old Jason Carvey, will be giving you a call tonight. Thank y'all so much for watching, and have a blessed day. Peace.